All right, let's go with it. I'll talk fast. Good evening, folks. This is K5LYN. My name's Lynn. I'm in Austin. And we've been getting together here for many years to talk about the early days of single sideband and to demonstrate the fact that it's possible to find all the old junk out there in your garage and put it together and make it talk. And we'll be doing that here this evening. Except...
Or not.
Yeah, I had a little mic issue. I think I'm back here now. These mic cords can be tricky sometimes. Hey, I'd like to ask a minute here and say that we've got a Swap Fest this Saturday in Austin here. A fellow named Larry, KG5RVR, has scheduled a tailgate Swap Fest at the Good Luck Drill in Manor, Texas. And that's easily accessed by any of the freeways east of Austin from 10 o'clock in the morning until 3 o'clock in the afternoon this Saturday, May the 6th. Talk in 14652 Simplex. And it's at the Good Luck Grill in Manor. That's the intersection of Highway 290 and Farm Road 973. That's the road to Taylor. So if you might be interested in showing up and need a clarification about where it's going to be, send me an email. All right, buy-sell trades are appropriate here if they're vintage radio related. And this is a great place to ask for technical advice about a radio that you're working on. I'm going to talk to some people. We'll give it to Jay and we'll give it to Rusty, and everybody's going to get picked up sooner or later here this evening. Let me talk to my neighbor first, WB5TXW. What do you say, George? K5LYN.
Hello, Lynn, and all around the net. For the finest hour of amateur radio for the week from WB5TXW. On the S-line, 32S175S3, the 3001 power supply, speaker box, Shure 444, out to the 75-meter dipole in the woods. And that's it. Everything seems to be working. So you going to breakfast Saturday, or how's that going to work, over?
Yes, sir. Breakfast is on. El Nuevo, Mexico, at the regular time, regular place.
Oye, que bueno. WB5TXW, back to net.
Sounding good, George. All right, WB1E. What do you say, Doug? Over to you, K5LYN.
Yeah, okay. Hello, everybody. This is Doug, WB1E, over here in Bryan, Texas, and on the Swan 500, as usual. I guess there's nothing new and exciting there. The 4400s on the Swan Mark 1 have decided to renew themselves. So, of course, they never really acted, super special. I figured I got something that was about, 60% maybe. But they seem to be doing very well these days. So, anyway, I'll send it back to you. Swan 500 and Swan Mark 1 with an inverted kind of a V at 120 degrees up at about 90 feet. So there you go, Lynn, and 73 to everybody on the Boat Anchors Net.
Absolutely wonderful signal, Doug. Beautiful audio as always. Doesn't get any better than that. Hey, Cliff, WB5DYA, talk to us.
Good evening. Here it is, WB5DYA, Cedar Park. Name's Cliff. We're listening. This is kind of complicated. We're listening on a Yaesu FT101ZD. I found laying over in the corner. So we're listening on that, but we're talking on the Kenwood tonight. What that means is I haven't figured out why the damn thing won't transmit. But anyway, it's got a good receiver. And hopefully next week we'll be transmitting on it also. And let's see, we're running about 700 watts out on a Maritron AL80B up to a horizontal dipole about 50 feet. And that's it. Back to net control.
Okay, Cliff, you're on top of it. It's doing a great job. Very nice audio. I didn't say what I'm on tonight, but folks have probably guessed. This is the Heathkit SB10 single sideband adapter, excited by the Collins 310B permeability tuned oscillator VFO from the year 1948, and I used it to adapt a Heathkit DX60 novice rig. to single sideband, and that's driving the Collins 30L1, listening on the Drake 2B. Moving on down the road, what do you say, Dan? KWOZ, talk to us.
Yeah, good evening, Glenn, and everybody else on the net. This is Dan, KWOZ in Houston, talking on a, not really a boat anchor, but it's, well, let's see, 91, it's well over 30 years old. A Kenwood TS-850 that I've sent over to Cal Fisher a time or two to get working here, or get, actually it was one time and a redo of something. Anyway, it seems to be working good. I'm driving not a homebrew, but an old Radio Industries Loudon Boomer amplifier. Got a little more power out of it this week. It's putting out about 700, 750 watts with a single 3400Z in there. And that's about it. Nothing else new here. I'm trying to get a bigger power supply built for a bunch of amplifiers here, but I haven't finished it yet. No time. Thank you, Lynn. Back to you, KWOZ.
Hey, Dan, a question about that amplifier. The Loudon Boomer that I had here, the power supply was on a separate chassis. Is that the same deal you got there?
Yeah, except I've made my own power supply. Well, this is one of the power supplies I've built that I just happened to connect up to it, but I'm building another power supply to put, about 3,600 volts on it. That ought to make it come to life a little better.
Okay. Yeah, I never got around to dealing with mine. Somebody took it off my hands, relieved me of that responsibility, and I was okay with that. But I know that those have an interesting reputation. There were a lot of them out there, and yours is doing a great job. Good to hear you, Dan. Anything else for the group this evening?
No, it's interesting, though. I've had quite a few of these Loudon Boomers and never really read up on any history, and I believe that one version, and I don't know if it was in Europe or not, but there's been about 5 amplifiers built by different people that have the same name, and one of them had a 4-1000 in it, not 4CX, but a 4-1000, and the rumors are, according to the internet, of course, that there were some that had a 4CX1000 in them, or a 3CX1000, but I don't know if there's any validity to that or not. That's it for me.
Well, yeah, that's why I asked that question, because I knew there were lots of versions of that, and I think maybe the original one was in a Ham magazine, but I'm not sure about that. But whatever the case, nice work on your part. All right, moving on down the road. Matt, you still over there? What about it? KK5DR. All right, Matt might have moved on. Hey, Justin, AI5OS, talk to us.
Hey, good evening, folks. This is AI5OS here on the Drake B-line. That's the TX4 and the R4B. Going through the Drake MN2000 tuner out to an in-fed half-wave antenna that's with the apex at about 45 feet and about 5 feet on one end and 20 feet on the other. So definitely working quite well. This is AI5OS.
Yes, it is, and the propagation between you and I is always strange. So you're twice as strong right now than when we first started talking a while ago. So that it just shows that at this time of day things can change. Over.
Yes, sir, it does indeed. Absolutely. It's really quite interesting how that works. And thanks for that little tip on the sideband earlier. I know that it sounds very novel, but I was like, well, there's something I'm not doing correctly here, and you've definitely helped me out.
Well, let me get out my manual tomorrow, too, and I'll send you an email as to what I find, because it's still not clear to me if it automatically switches sidebands when you go up there. I know it'll work both sidebands, but a lot of the rigs changed automatically when you went from 40 to 20. We'll get that mystery resolved, and I'll get in touch with you tomorrow. Okay, on down the road. Hey, Ken, I thought that was a beautiful picture. Did that panel look as good on that amplifier, AG5XP, K5LYN? Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Lynn, for picking me up. Yeah, it looked pretty good when I got it, but I gave it a buff job and repainted the knobs and turned out really nice looking. But tonight we're on the old Heathkit SB10 like you are. Got it hooked up to a Johnson bike he wanted to drive my Godset GSB 201. Got the D104 mic making it all motivate. got it going out to a homebrew G5RB antenna and tune it up with a Heathkit 2040 tuner. And that's what we got over here in Browwood. Back to you, Lynn.
Yeah, aren't these SB10s wonderful? I love these radios where the signal is generated at the operating frequency. It's so much easier to know where you are.
Yeah, roger that. Yeah, I'm working on the concept.
Yep.
SB100 transmitter that goes with that amplifier. I sent you the picture of it, and it works the same way, but I think it does have one crystal for the band control, but the audio is all done with phase shifting.
Well, I've never examined one of those, and I didn't know that, but keep us posted on that project, because I remember as a kid, the GSB 100 and the HT37 were both in a running race with each other, and they were both great radios. Nice work, Kenneth. Anything else for the group this evening?
Oh, that's about it, but so far everybody's sounding really good on the boat anchor net. Hard to believe they're boat anchors because they sound so good.
Yes. And aren't they fun? And you do excellent work on yours. All right, let me talk to my friend Tom down in San Antonio, then we'll throw it Jay's way. KC5L. Hey, Tom, bring us up to date. Over to you.
Hey, good evening, Lynn. This is Tom in San Antonio, and we're on the usual tonight. We're talking on the Central Electronics 200V transmitter and 600L amplifier. The tuner is a Johnson KW Matchbox, and we have a homebrew doublet of about 15 feet. The microphone here is a D104, and we're listening on the R390A. And that's about all I have this evening, Lynn. Your Studebaker sounded great as usual. Back to you, KC5L.
Yeah, it's funny. You know, I always call this the radio version of a 59 Studebaker because it was put together out of a bunch of junk I had out in the garage I didn't know what to do with, and that's the way all the Studebakers were that I had, 52, 55, and 63. But it got you where you needed to go, just like this thing does here. All right, Jay, over to you. KM5QS, K5LYN.
Okay, Lynn. Good deal. And I think I'm still on frequency. I'll be doggone. That's probably change in a minute. This is KM5QS, Jay. I'm in Alice, and this evening I'm on the Kenwood TS820S using the R820 Kenwood as for the receiver. Got them in transceiver configuration. TL922 amplifier, Electro Voice 664 alpha microphone, and homebrew antenna tuner, and a 160-meter dipole stretched out across the neighborhood. So with all that stuff, hopefully I can stay on the air long enough to get this done. N5JJI, Ed, your turn, sir.
Okay, Jay, thank you. This is N5JJI in New Braunfels. I'm seeding tonight. I'm using the Kenwood 570 and into the LK500 ZB amp. Dentron Super Tuner and out to 80-meter dipole stuck up about 25 feet. And everybody's sounding great, and the band's in good shape tonight. It's fun to listen to. N5JJI, back to that, Jay.
Okay, Ed. Well, you're doing a fine job down here in the brush country, so everything's working. You're right. The band does seem to be pretty good this evening, so thank you, sir. Alrighty, KE5Q, Jim, your turn.
All right, KM5QS, Evan up. This is Kilo Echo 5 Quebec, Jim in Plano. And tonight I'm on the Kenwood 530S, and I'm driving a different amplifier tonight. I'm driving my little mobile Heathkit HA14 amplifier, which has a couple of 572Bs in there. And we're putting out about 500 watts on peaks, something like that. And we're using a Shure 444. And that amplifier is going into the Ultimax 8040 double bazooka. So that's the story here. Just trying out this old mobile amp. We've had it here for a while. KM5QS, KE5Q.
Okay, Jim. Yeah, those are good little amplifiers. They're a relatively small package for a tube amp, and those always were pretty neat. You get a lot of bang for your buck on those things if you can find everything working nowadays. But anyway, yours is sounding great this evening.
Oh, thank you, Jim. K5LT, wow. What you got this evening?
Well, good evening, Jay, and everyone else on the Blinkers Net tonight. This is Lyle, K5LT, located in Bernie, Texas, just outside of San Antonio. And tonight I am running the usual, the Heathkit SB101 into the Heathkit SB221 amplifier out to a double extended step-band tuner run to the cedar trees. And see what else is going on around here. Got some rain last week, so thankful for that. And maybe get some more later on this week, starting tomorrow. So that'll be welcome. And last weekend, my daughter decided to go get engaged. Her boyfriend proposed to her at college, and so now I got that to deal with. Let the women start planning on that one, and so, oh boy, here we go. So, other than that, nothing new around here, Jay, so back to you. K5LT.
Okay, Lyle. Well, it's been quite a while since we went through that, but, my best advice to you is do not argue. Whatever the wife wants to do about it, don't argue with her. It'll be much easier.
I know we've already had that discussion, and the other thing was I've also been told that the finance department does not work with the planning or the budgeting departments.
Oh, that's that's a learning experience. I can't. I don't think I have anything relevant to say. I have no way to control that. I didn't then. I still don't. Anyway, good luck with it, and congratulations to your daughter, and I hope y'all have a good time with that. And they're happy for a very, very long time. Thank you, Lyle. Now, let's see here. WA5EDX, Byron, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, Jay, and the rest of that. This is WA5EDX, Byron in beautiful Bluffdale, Texas. And tonight we are on Kenwood 520S. And that's barefoot, MC50 mic into an inverted V. Yeah, this is the same rig I had on last week, guys. And those of you who are listening very carefully could probably notice there was a slight defect in the rig. Probably because it was like 5 or 6 kC off frequency and distorted and everything else. And so you're probably all wondering what did I found wrong with it, and saying, well, Byron, I thought Kenwood 520s never failed. Well, this one did, and it had a bad 9 volt regulator in it. It's got a discrete regulator circuit that's on the AVR board on top of the chassis, and that 9 volt regulator was not regulating, and the same 14 volts that went into it was coming out of it. And so the VFO and other circuitry that receives 9 volts did not like 14 volts at all. But it being a discrete regulator, I found one of the transistors had a collector to emitter short, and that caused the whole problem. Just replaced it, and everything was hunky-dory, readjusted to 9 volts, and that's how she sounds tonight. Give me critical reports, guys. Only other thing I've had to do is replace 2 or 3 of those little wheat lamps that always burn out on Kenwood, and so I think I'm about done with this one. So that's all I know for sure. Thanks, you guys, for calling in that, as usual. Hope we get a little rain tomorrow night, but no severe storms. We don't need any more of that. Back to you, Jay, WA5EDX.
Okay, Byron. No, it sounds good. It's stable. It sounded rock solid to me. It didn't move a bit while you were talking there. And so you found it. Well, I know you found it. You described it too well not to have found it. Anyway, good job. It's sounding great. All righty. Well, thank you, sir. All right, let me see. I've got one more name down here. It's Perry up there, KB5UOZ.
Yeah, okay, Jay. Thanks for getting in. This is KB0UOZ, Perry up here, Southwest Missouri. Well, I'm on the green boxes tonight. Jay, we've got hot water 101 running here using a Shure 450 microphone on it, and we load up a pair of 3500s over here with a SP220, and we're hitting it up there, just up there around the gallon, so I hope it's sounding okay and halfway close to frequency. Anyhow, boy, it's good to be here this evening and be able to check in with you guys. I'm usually still at the WORK place at this time of night, but anyway, here I am, so I got the opportunity to sit here and listen to you guys. Anyway, thanks for getting me in. Good to hear everybody, and we'll ride along, KB0UOZ.
Okay, Perry. Yeah, you're sounding great down here. No problem this evening. Of course, you generally do, so it's working for you. All righty. Rusty, you want to see what you can do with it, and I'll stand by for the next round. KM5QS, turning it over to WK5R.
Rusty, can I have it just a second?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, see if W5TF was in there. I don't think we picked him up, and I heard him earlier.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, go ahead.
Okay, KM5QS in the group, W5 Tango Fox. Well, I was just listening along, and I figured y'all would get me sooner or later. I'm fudging a little bit tonight. I'm on my 16-year-old Orion 2, driving a homebrew 3-1000. It was built the same time my E13s were built that I've been using with the KWM2A, which has got a little problem in the audio. I'm working on it, just hadn't had time to get the stick in and stick with it very often. Antenna's the same old coaxial dipole up about 45 feet. Everybody's sounding pretty good in here. And some fours kind of moved in there for a while, but I think that might have been skipped. Not real sure. Don't know if anybody else heard them. But thanks for letting me in. KM5QS in the bunch. And thank you, Lynn, from W5 Tango Fox. Over.
Okay. Yeah, sound good over there. Anyway, good evening, folks. This is WK5R. I'm running the usual stuff tonight. The Kenwood TS590S. The Tascam TM70 Dynamic Studio mic. Driving the homebrew GS35B amplifier. And into the homebrew fan dipole there. Up at about 50 some odd feet there. And that's the story here. So with that, who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
WB50, that's
Hey, go ahead, Don.
Don, New Caney, Texas. Running the TS520 into the 922 Kenwood amplifier to a dipole, bazooka, 45 feet. And that's about it. Over.
All right, sounding good as usual there, Don. The Kenwood stuff working. All right, who else is out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
Kilo 5, Lima Alpha, Lima X-Ray Zulu.
Okay, I've got two there. And there was a third one in there, and I'll think I'm thinking about when I get through with these two. K0SCD, go ahead.
Well, good evening, Rusty, and all your boat anchors. K0SCD and Tyler. And as usual, I'm on the trusty old Kenwood TS520, a Collins 30L1, a dipole at 40-odd feet. That's about it from here. Thank you, Rusty. K0SCD.
Your Kenwood sounded good as usual there, Steve. Appreciate it. Okay, there was a station with Lima in the suffix. Come again.
Kilo 5, Lima Alpha.
And go ahead, sir.
It's Kilo 5, Lima Alpha. Doug here near San Antonio, tonight I'm on the usual Collins KWM2, being powered by the original Collins 516 power supply, and running a Shure 444 microphone to a dipole up about 60 feet. Everybody sounds good, and thanks for having me in there, 73s.
All right, Doug. Sounded good there on your Collins stuff. I didn't recognize you at first, but it's due down there. Appreciate you checking in, Doug. We'll catch you later. Okay, there was another station in there. Try it again.
Willie Baker 5, Lima X-Ray Zulu.
Okay, Willie Baker 5, Lima X-Ray Zulu. Go ahead.
Okay, this is Jim, WB5LXZ. Good evening, everybody. The band's a little rough tonight. I'm running a Kenwood TS 820S barefoot into a G5 RV up about 35 feet. Just wanted to say hello, WB5LXZ.
Okay. Yeah, the 820's doing a fine job. Even barefoot, that doesn't miss anything. Plenty loud. Appreciate you checking in there, Jim. We'll catch you next time. Who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
W6, Mike Whiskey Sugar.
Go ahead, Marshall.
Yeah, good evening to you there. Let's see, I guess it's Rusty. I wasn't around whenever when Lynn turned it over. Anyway, yeah, Marshall here at Arlington, Texas tonight, running a Kenwood 520 into the Henry and going out to a 75-meter horizontal loop up about 30 feet. Anyway, you guys are coming in good tonight, and all is well here in Arlington. Back to net.
Okay, Marshall, you are correct. This is Rusty. Plenty loud and sounding good there. We'll catch you next time. Who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
Kilo Charlie 5, November Papa Charlie.
Okay, I believe that is Hubert out in San Angelo, isn't it? Go ahead.
Yeah, Hubert in San Angelo, and I'm them two legs to tune up my boat anchors. So I'm just on the old 4-year-old ICOM 7300 SB1000 out to an off-center fed dipole. So that's what it's doing here. Just wanted to check in and say hello.
Okay, Hubert. Sounded good. Appreciate you checking in. We'll catch you next time. Who's next for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now. Anybody out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited? Come now.
Hey, Rusty.
Yes, sir, Jay.
Just for my record keeping, the fellow 3-back Jim, I think, X-Ray Zulu. What was his call?
Willie Baker 5, Lima LAX, I believe, Jay.
LXZ.
Yeah, Lima X-Ray Zulu. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Okay.
Oops, thank you.
One more time. Anybody else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited bit before I turn it back to Lynn? Come now. Well, I think I need to fish the pond dry there. I think I need to go put a new worm on my hook there, Lynn. K5LYN, WK5R. Take her away.
Okay, Rusty. Yeah, the band is quieter here now with the propagation getting better. I think my radio's trying to flip up the band a little bit. If it sounds funny, y'all let me know. Let me repeat something right quick. This is K5LYN, Lynn in Austin. There's a tailgate swap fest in Manor, Texas this Saturday, 10 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And this is something that the guy is trying to start out as a quarterly deal. That's Larry, KJ5RVR. So if you're in the Austin area, want to do a little tailgating this Saturday, you can do it. Need a clarification on this thing, send me an email, and we'll straighten it all out. This is K5LYN, Lynn in Austin. Who else for the net this evening? Well, we might have covered the territory. It's been a great net, and the propagation has gotten better and better. None of you Nebraska people here tonight? Well, Jay, I may not be talking as far as Nebraska. Want to pass it around the table one more time? We may have done it. K5LYN.
All righty, Lynn. Yeah, we'll give her a shot and see what's going on. I have to stomp on my foot switch. It's getting a little reluctant. I have more trouble with these things. Anyway, all right, folks, the Boat Anchors Unlimited, we're making the second round, so if there's anybody out there we haven't visited with yet, you'd like to check in, come now.
WJA.
Okay, Jim, go ahead.
Hello, Jay. Everybody else. This is Jim, N5WJA in Southeast Louisiana. I'm on my new rig. I ain't on my own one. Just didn't feel like dragging it out this evening. Just want to check in, say good evening, and add to the numbers. Back to you, Jay. N5WJA.
Okay, Jim. Thanks for checking in. It's always good to hear you. And we're just waiting for October 6th and 7th. I know you can't stand it, but we'll see you then, Roger.
Cross your fingers.
Yeah, okay. We'll do that. All right, folks, and is there anyone else?
WV5A.
Whiskey Bravo 5 question mark?
Whiskey Victor 5 India, Dwayne up in Munster.
Oh, 5 India. Okay, go ahead, Dwayne.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. And we're on the round emblem 32S3, 75S3 being a 30S1. The antenna is an inverted V at 35 feet, and the microphone's a 444D.
Sounding good.
Well, you got a great signal up here. Everybody's good and clear. Got some static crashes, but everybody's topping them.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Band's pretty good this evening, and hope the weather stays good for a little while. We had enough rain for a day or two down here, but anyway. Good to hear you.
Yeah, good to hear you, too. Send some of that rain up here. We didn't even get a tenth of an inch.
Dang. Oh, we got rain like we hadn't had for years down here, but we needed it. So anyway, well, thanks for checking in, Dwayne. We'll look for you next week if you can make it.
Okay, 73, everybody. We'll give it a good old try.
Roger, Roger. All right, folks. Anyone else for the Boat Anchors? Okay, Rusty. See if you can raise Kansas or Nebraska or Omaha or somewhere.
Okay, Jake. This is WK5R with the Boat Anchors Unlimited Net. Anybody else out there up in Nebraska, Kansas, or wherever else for the Boat Anchors Unlimited Net, come now. I hear absolutely nothing for static. All right, last call. Anybody anywhere for the Boat Anchors Unlimited Net, come now.
KI5OS for the recheck.
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Hey, just wanted to have a kind of a technical question for you guys. So, I have an MN2000 and a Heathkit 2060 Alpha tuner here. Why is it that when I tune the MN2000 down to a 1-to-1 SWR, if I move off the frequency, it will, I notice the antenna will rise much quicker. The SWR curve will start to rise much quicker on the MN2000 than it does on the Heathkit 2060.
The only thing that would explain that was that the MN2000 is not as broadbanded as the 2060 when you reach a tuning solution. Either that or your tuning solutions are different to accomplish the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, because I noticed that 2060 Alpha is extremely broadbanded. It'll hold the if I resonated around 3800, I'll still be like 1.2 to 1 right up here. But I literally have to resonate the MN2000 within a couple kilohertz of 3870, or else that SWR starts getting 2.5 to 1 within about 25-30 kcs.
Hey, Justin?
Yes, sir.
They're different circuits. The Heathkit is a T, And I think the MN2000 is different. It's not just a simple T network.
And it's a tapped inductor.
Okay, gotcha. So that makes sense. So that is expected behavior on that MN2000.
Yeah, it's just that the circuit in the MN2000 has to be on the money. The Heathkit, for some reason, is a little more forgiving.
Okay, gotcha. That's fair enough.
All right. Thank you, Justin. Anybody else out there for the Boat Anchors Unlimited net before we tie the ribbon on it? Come now. I hear nothing but static, so we appreciate everybody checking in. The band's been good tonight, so I guess we'll go ahead and shut her down. See everybody next week. This is WK5R, now closing the Boat Anchors Unlimited net and returning the frequency to normal amateur abuse.
And I'll make a very quick announcement. I got a text from Matt who says he's recording, and if you don't know how to get the recordings of our net, send me an email and we'll get that explained. And it's always fun to hear how we did in terms of getting things right, and Matt's the guy that can always get us straightened out on that. K5LYN, 73's great net all the way around.
Good deal.